Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Just because you can doesn't really mean you should. Not everyone should be having children, and you have to look at the creator and the fact that he has or they have outfitted almost half. They say that half of the population are sterile. That's what they say. But you have to look at the creator and say to yourself, why would they allow a child at 11, 12, 13 to go through the stage of, having a period and being able to be impregnated, and sometimes are, because, guys don't really care about age and that kind of stuff. Why would they allow a child to come on to optimize that area, to optimize at such a young age? So when you see that, you have to say that the creators didn't really care about age, about females. The creator only wanted to have numbers. They just wanted to have people here, and they put in place the female to go through the rigors of giving birth, and that's about it. That's about it. Now, he is in the news talking about his daughter, and he gave a little background saying that her mother recently died, and she is probably grieving the death of her mother. But that's really not true, is it? That's really not, it's cumulative. It's just not one thing. Sometimes you see people behave in a certain way and you say, oh, it's because of that. No, it's a combination of things that accumulate. It's cumulative. Okay? And then when the person acts out and you're pointing at one thing, you don't know the tragedies that got that person to that particular point. Okay? It's more than one hit, one blow. It's one blow. It adds up. Now, he's saying that the child is his daughter and she lives with him, and it's only like a month now or whatever, because the mother died, and he probably has no choice. But she's 13 years old, and she has been in the news for being gone from home last year when she was 12, and probably doing stuff even before that. Now, who do you look at? Who do you look at when these things are happening? Where do you go? What rocks do you turn over? You have to peel some onions. Where do you go? Now, when you're having children, you are their teacher. You are their tutor. And when you see your kids behave in a certain way and they're at a certain age, that's all on you. That's all on you. Okay? Because if they're looking at you and mimicking what you do, and you're looking at that child and you're seeing something that doesn't look good, look in the mirror. They're hearing the way you speak. They're seeing the way you move. They're seeing the way you interact with people. When you think a kid is not listening, their hearing is acute. They can hear almost anything. And because they're not reacting, you think they're not recording you. They are recording you. So when you see a child, look, okay, I cannot imagine being out on the road, not home with my mom and dad at 11, 12 years old, moving around like I own myself when I'm like 10 and 9. What is that? What is that? You have to look at yourselves. And when your kids are acting out earlier than 16, because in Barbados, they say, well, at 16, you can do this. At 16. Here in America, they would say, at 18, you're adult. So at 18. So all those little pivoted points, okay? All of those bullet points that you are giving to your children, they're going to acquiesce to those points, and based on whatever else is happening with them within the family setting, they can act out even earlier. Okay, so it's all on you until they reach 16 or 18. It's all, you have to take all the blame until that child is emancipated. Let's say 18 in Barbados, even you allow them to do the dirty at 16 without anyone being arrested. But 18 is young adulthood, and anything that happens to that child before that child reaches that age of 18, it's all on you, the parents. Okay, so I'm gonna play this guy. I'll let you hear what this guy is saying. But not everyone should have children. I'm doing this to tell you, not everyone, just because you have a womb and just because you have sperm, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be having children. If you know that your bank account is low, that's a no. If you know that there's a mental health issue in your family, that's a no. If you know that your job is not secure and every now and again you have to be looking for, that's a no. If you know that you don't really want to stay with one person to raise a child, and you know what they thought, my father was a rolling stone, that's a no. They're no's. It's a no for having children, because it's taking a village. It's taking a village to raise a child properly, and just putting it on one person, and you're absent. I don't know anything about him. I'm just talking absentee fathers, because that's normal in Barbados. People having children without being married. That's normal. It's normal in Barbados, okay? So let's listen to him. But it's all on you, him, and it's all on the mother that is deceased. What is going on with Jenique Amanda Anderson? Just because you can doesn't mean you should, okay? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Let's hear what this person has to say. Let me put some volume.
From school, she closed and went away. I didn't see she walks in. Yeah, so I still looking around to see if I see she anyway.
Wait, he's not virgin. He's not virgin. And do you understand anything he just said? Okay.
So your daughter would have first been reported missing last week, Wednesday, I believe. So you said the last thing you saw her was when she just went to school, like
at 7:30 in the morning.
And what was her mood like the day before?
She was joking around, laughing and talking with me, and she don't have anything going on. Yeah, I walked her to the gate, and she told me, "Daddy, I love you," and I said, "I love you too." And that's it.
And afterwards, when did you first realize that something was out of the norm?
The day when I come, I don't see shit. I called in she and she said, "Walk around the house, see if anything wrong with she anyway," and I see shit. Then I never went at the station the same day. I said, "Probably she won't come back." I went in the morning and I reported. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a 13-year-old. Oh, Jesus Christ. You have a 13-year-old that doesn't show up, and you didn't report her to the police until the next day? He's not Bajan, by the way. He's not Bajan. So he reported her to, I guess Jenique has a history, but yet you reported her the next day, 13 years old, and you're saying that because her mother died, she may be, what, in a state, and you reported it the next day that she didn't sleep home. You think I could have a child that is not home in bed, and I could sleep? Oh, Jesus, sleep? Well, the child will only have to be missing like an hour before the whole world turns over. No, it is a world event. It's an earthquake. You think my child could be missing, like not knowing where that child is for an hour, 1 hour, and the whole world does not turn over for me? And here his child didn't come home, and he went the next day to the police. It only shows these people don't care. And then he's saying that when she got to the gate, she said, I love you. And he said, I love you. I love? You love? Is that love? Is that love? And since when are Bajan or people in Barbados saying, I love you to kids? Did you remember that when you were growing up? Leaving home and somebody shouting out to you, oh, I love you. And you shouting about, oh, I love you too. What the fuck? Do you remember that happening to you? Maybe I came out as a cave person. I don't remember that shit. But maybe you should enlighten me as to whether when you were going through a gate, you heard someone shouting out to you, I love you, and you shouting back, I love you too. Since when? You're watching too many movies. Let me see what else he has to say.
From there, I see she was there.
Are there any other relatives here that you think she may have gone by?
She don't have any relatives here right now. Right. She mostly have school friends. Yeah. So when this happens, what goes through your mind as to where she might be? I think she'll probably go out with somebody, some friends. You understand? I just happened before. So, and she told me she was with friends. So that's the reason why I studied she was with friends. Yeah.
But you would have contacted her friends and have you...
I don't know she friends. And she not only tell me she got friends, but I don't know them. She never come and live with me. She was living with your mom all the time.
So when was it that she first started living with you? How long ago?
This will make 4 weeks now. Yeah. That's it.
So you said within the 4 weeks he would have disappeared as well and gone to some friends' houses.
Yeah.
So she's with him for 4 weeks, and in that 4 weeks she disappeared also. You see, like I said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, let's say that, okay, stay with me on this one. Let's say that I had brought a child into the world, and at such a young age, that child would have been acting out like this. It would have been over. It would have been a divorce. It would have been over. I would have to call the authorities, authorities, and say, I don't know what I did, where I went wrong in life. I don't know what happened, but you need to come and take this child away and see what you can do to raise this child. It would have been a no. Excuse me. It would have been a no for me. That would have been a no for me. I would turn away. I would turn away from that situation. There's no one in the world that can make me stay in a situation where I'm taking a child to school, I'm working hard, putting a roof over that child's head, giving it good food, cooking food and watching it school, and the child is wild and not coming home. You don't know where the child is, and the child showing up 2 weeks later, 10 days later, or whatever. Like, I was with friends. Where are your friends, or who are your friends? And the child shoots in and like pushing the door. Well, that's a no for me. That's a no for me. Okay, let's see what this joker has to say.
She went 2 weeks ago. Yeah, when she come back here already. She went on a Saturday, come back Sunday morning. We go to the station, make a report, and everything was alright from there until Wednesday again.
So far, what response have you had from police as they've gone through their searches?
Well, I'm telling you, they're looking around for she, and Just keep the fingers crossed, yeah. We don't know where she is. So I can't tell you where she is. But somebody, she stepfather tell me, one of his friends saw she Friday night in town. Yeah, going on number 11. But I was looking out for she, but I didn't see she.
She's going on number 11, like no idea where she would have been going down that side.
I don't know where she was going.
She would have said that her mom would have passed. Do you think that would have had contributed to her missing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that would be a part of it.
What was her relationship like with her mom?
Well, she and she mom have a good relationship. And she mom love her so much, so I don't see a reason why she could do it. She didn't go to the funeral. She disappeared before the funeral.
Yeah, I've heard in Lebanon there's a knack flying around in there. I don't want to see it go into his mouth or anything like that. But yeah, yeah, that's it for this. This is a Nation News video with this guy. Did they say his name? Let me see. Oh, Brian's first thing there. Brian Anderson. And he's smiling. He smiled a couple times throughout the interview. It's like, it's just because you can doesn't mean you should, okay? It doesn't mean you should. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.